All right, what's up, guys? TGIF. Happy Friday, June the 18th, 2021. Hope y'all are doing well on this Friday. Appreciate you all tuning in. I am Chris Phillips, the Daily Crow, of course, I should say. As always, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. What is going on? Great day to have a great day here on this Friday, June the 18th. Like I said, taking your questions, comments, calls as well. We got a lot to get into, a lot to discuss, a lot to debate. I'm sure many of you will not let me forget that top 5 ranking I had yesterday for Gamecock's quarterbacks. Also, if you're on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you want to help contribute to the business, support the content, everything else, you can do so on YouTube through Super Chat and Super Stickers. And again, we truly appreciate that. I'm extremely grateful for you guys tuning in each and every single day, showing your love and support. I see Travi, Phil, Brendan M., and USC Insider. What's going on, guys? Hey, before we get going with everything, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm, because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, young but experienced and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies, but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they've represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understood that you're not just a line item. You're not just a number. You're a human being, and you should be treated as such, guys. They're a small boutique law firm that, like I said, treats their clients like family. They're going to know who you are and treat you like a client, not a number, guys. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. When you've been involved in a work accident or a car accident, the last thing that you need to be worrying about is paperwork and dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts take care of all that for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them handle it for you, guys. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami is in Columbia. Curtis is in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today. Their Columbia location, 803-973-0304, or in Somerville, 843-388-3368. Or guys, of course, your one-stop shop, of course, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, that's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. John, what's up, man? Rob, Justin, Tim Dorn, excuse me, sorry. Tim Dorn says, Robert Brooks didn't make your top 5 wide receivers. No, he did not. No. Very good one. And guys, here's the thing. Here's the point of the top 5 list. The point is to have debate. The point's to have debate. So we're not going to agree, and it's fine. I'm not right necessarily. It's just my top 5. My top 5 isn't the end-all, be-all of top 5s. It's just my personal top 5. So, of course, what Justin and others are referring to, and, of course, yesterday, I dropped my top 5 list of Gamecock quarterbacks all time. Top 5 quarterbacks all time at South Carolina. And people were less than thrilled that Jake Bentley was 5th on that list. Okay? People were less than thrilled. And I get it. I do get it. I understand, right? I understand it. I never thought I would put Jake Bentley in my top 5. Never. I was not a Jake Bentley guy. For anybody that remembers that far back with my content, which is crazy to say that far back because that didn't happen that long ago, but obviously in 2019, certainly 2018 and 17, TSUS wasn't what it is now. I think we all know that, right? It wasn't what it is now. But anybody who was following back then knows that I was not some Jake Bentley guy. All right. I was not a big Jake Bentley guy. Not at all. So for me to put him in my top 5 was, even for me, I surprised myself. But numbers do matter. Okay. When you're ranking top 5 of all time, this isn't the most clutch. This isn't the most talented. It's just an overall generic top 5. And my biggest reasoning for putting Jake Bentley there, again, he threw some mind-boggling picks. There's no other way to put it. Threw some mind-boggling interceptions. And we lost some games we probably shouldn't have with Jake Bentley under center. But, guys, here is also the fact. If he does not get hurt in that first game of the 2019 season, if he does not get hurt, he would not have gotten benched. I don't think he would have gotten benched. If he does not get hurt, guys, Jake Bentley is the all-time passing leader for every single category. And he's the all-time facts. Those are just flat out the facts. So it's hard to leave a guy out with those type of credentials. Like, it just is. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say Todd Ellis. I am shocked at the amount of people that say Todd Ellis is the best quarterback we've ever had, or that he's like even the second best. He threw 73 picks. I'm sorry, that just does it for me. I cannot look past the fact he threw 73 interceptions. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Now, if you want to argue Anthony Wright, certainly did it. Here's the thing. Here's the true reality. If you really want to know, here's the reality. 1 through 4 for me, I feel good about. 5 through 10, the rest of the way are pretty much a crapshoot. There are like 5 or 6 guys you could just shuffle them all, and they'd make sense. They would make sense. You know what I mean? So, hey, if you want to say I'm an idiot for not putting Anthony Wright or Phil Petty or Dylan Thompson, even Todd Ellis, I have like no issue with that. Again, guys, the point of the top 5 list is to create banter and conversation. I'm not saying that I'm right and you're wrong, right? I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. It's just my personal top 5. You know, it is what it is. It's just some fun preseason content. We are in the midst of list season. Now, I also dropped my top 5 wide receiver list in graphic form today because as you guys probably know, I wrote this article a few days ago, but as I learned yesterday, the graphics really make this thing pop, especially like on Instagram and everywhere else. Brooks even. I mean, we'll look at it right now. We'll look at it right now. Got the old Russell Athletic hat back on today. I haven't worn this puppy in a while. Let's see. I mean, you're talking about right. He ranks 7th all time, ahead of Pharaoh Cooper, ahead of Deebo Samuel, ahead of Shi Smith. So, but hey, he did catch 19 touchdowns. Hey, Robert Brooks caught more touchdowns than Sterling Sharp did. So that's pretty fair. That's pretty fair, I will say. That's interesting. But what happened? What happened with the mic? I'm seeing nothing on my end. All right, well, I don't know. Looks good on my end. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug, replug. Should be good. Yeah, there we go. Okay, anyways, what I was saying for the Muschamp hackers so rudely interrupted me. Robert Brooks actually had more touchdown catches than Sterling Sharp. So, you know, for those who wanted Robert Brooks, hey, fair. I give it to you. Of course, as my coffee is spilling, I'll give it to you. That's fair. So, again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. Hey, if you guys want to call in, who's your top quarterback of all time? What's your top 5? What's your top 5? The funny thing about this is it came about very organically. Like, I didn't come into this week saying, okay, we're going to do a top 5 list for this, whatever. I didn't come in the week saying that. What happened was we posted I'm doing the countdown to kickoff, and one of the countdown days was, who was it? It was, I guess, Sterling Sharp or somebody. It's Alshon. It was Alshon. And I was like, where does Alshon rank top 5 wide receivers? I was like, screw it. Let's just do a top 5 list. And then here we are now. So I'm thinking probably now it's a thing. So now next week, I think I'm going to try to drop a top 5 list every day. So today I dropped my graphic for top 5 receivers. Monday we'll do top 5 tight ends. Tuesday I'm going to do top 5 all-around playmakers, right? So this is going to encompass guys like Bruce Ellington, Ace Sanders, Savell Newton, those do-it-all guys. You know, you can't put some people are saying Savell Newton best all-time quarterback. I wouldn't put him there, but Savell Newton belongs in his own category for what he did it all, literally did it all. So I think that's going to be a list on Tuesday. Wednesday, I think I'm going to do best top 5 defensive linemen. Thursday, top 5 linebackers. And then Friday, top 5 defensive backs. I think that'd be fun. Hey, maybe the next week we're going to top 5 kickers, top 5 coaches, top everything. Dude, like I said, this is list season. We are in list season. The peak of list season. So if the audio's still messing up, let me know, by the way. We should be good. I don't know. That's weird because normally if the audio does something, it sends a notification, but it didn't say anything. So you never know. It could be the Melon streaming platform. I have no idea. Or it just could be Muschamp. I don't know. Whatever. Dusty Rhodes, no, that's a good point. I have to do running backs. You are right. Yeah, we'll do running backs as well next week. Yeah. We'll do running backs as well. Sorry. There's a lot of top 5 lists. I'll probably do top 5 most underrated Gamecocks. I don't want to do overrated because I don't want to call anybody out, man. And I mean, I know I'm that guy, right? I'm the guy who says whatever and don't care about how anybody feels. But we can have the conversation, but I'm not going to do a top 5 what ifs or bust lists and be oh, look at a guy I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Hey, life's good now post Muschamp. I don't want to bring any unneeded, unnecessary drama that's negative drama. So, I don't know. It is a fun conversation, though. I will say, right? It is a fun conversation. Sky Moore, number 1 Thursday. So, somebody suggested this, by the way, which I think is a really cool idea, and you guys let me know. Again, we can have this conversation. Somebody said rank the all-time, position units in the sense of, best to worst. How do the position units at USC rank? How teams are DBU or wide receiver U or quarterback U, all-time position units at South Carolina. So, for example, I would probably say either defensive back or wide receiver will be the number 1 position unit all time at South Carolina. You look at the players we put in the NFL and just the players we put out. Which position units have had the greatest players, the most great players? And I'd probably say linebacker would be last. I mean, I don't know what it is, man. We just have not. I know we had Sky, but, I mean, do you guys really feel like we are a school that puts out great linebackers? That seems to always be – when is the last time you came into a season and said, wow, our linebackers are, nasty? I mean, really the last time I felt that way? I mean, yeah, we had Sky. And I guess those Spurrier defenses, when you had Shaq Wilson, you felt really good. I don't know. We don't on a year in, year out basis have great linebackers. That's what I'm trying to say. Stevenson EK, what's up? It doesn't feel, and I know defenses have changed 4-2-5 and schematics and all, but I don't know. We're just Penn State, they put out great linebackers year after year after year. For whatever reason, we just don't have great line. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Travis. The Brinkley brothers was the last time I felt like our linebackers are dominant. You know what I mean? Our defense revolves around the linebackers. I don't know. Yeah, Justin, I don't think Savell's a top 5 quarterback either. So. But he's going to be top 5 in his own right in a certain list I'm going to put out next week. Like I said, Savell is in a category of his own. Savell's in a category of his own, bottom line. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. If you guys do want to call in, what's your top 5? Who are your top 5 quarterbacks? And let me ask you guys this. Am I just a complete idiot for putting Bentley in the top 5? Am I an idiot? If I'm an idiot, say so. That's fine. I don't care. I can take it. Am I an idiot? Am I crazy? Because I do – listen, when I was making my top 5, I was like, am I really putting Jake Bentley in the top 5? Am I doing it? Am I really doing it? I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. I mean, I feel like we could write a book about the curious case of Jake Bentley at South Carolina. Because here's the thing. Let's have this conversation. I really want feedback here from you guys. Seriously. I don't just want to talk to myself on this. Let's have this conversation, though. Because I look at Jake Bentley very similar. Similar? What the hell is similar? I look at Jake Bentley very similarly to how I looked at Blake Mitchell. Okay. Both very inconsistent, won some big games, but at times, were very turnover prone, had a tendency to make back-breaking mistakes, right? Back-breaking mistakes at times, okay? But Blake Mitchell's beloved, and Jake Bentley is one of the most disliked players I think we've ever had. Why is that? Why do you think that is? And I'll tell you why I think it is. I think it is because when Blake Mitchell, and I love Blake Mitchell. I do. I got nothing but love. I wish we could I'd love to have Blake on the show if I could ever get in touch with him. I'd love to have him on the show. Would love to. Hey, first Spurrier quarterback. I got a ton of respect for Blake. Ton of respect. But, I think when Blake Mitchell was quarterback, hey, we won 7 games, his first year? We beat Florida, beat Tennessee. He beat Georgia in 2007. I mean, did a lot of firsts under Coach Spurrier. With Jake Bentley, it was much different. The expectations were through the roof. He was this 4-star kid. We were trying to get back to what we were under Spurrier. So even when we won 6-7 games, they were bad seasons, right? Why do you think there's such a difference in the way fans view Blake Mitchell compared to Jake Bentley? And again, I'm not sitting here telling you guys Jake Bentley's my favorite Gamecock of all time, or I'm going to get a Jake Bentley poster and hang it in the studio. I'm not saying that, but it is interesting. It is interesting. Because even I look back, and I'm like, again, guys, if you remember my coverage of when Bentley was QB, I wanted him benched. He did not have that big game gene in my mind. He didn't. I felt like every time we played a big game, he played his worst football. Just bottom line. But to his credit, he did play under Will Muschamp. He did play for some of the worst OCs in probably the history of our school. I mean, who remembers Kurt Roper? So, and then with that being said, like I said, guys, the biggest reason I had Jake Bentley at 5th, like I said, is the statistics. I mean, he was a season away, 62.5% completion percentage, 7,527 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, threw 55 touchdowns, 32 picks. Heck, he ran for 143 yards and 8 touchdowns. Hell, he ran for 8, which is more than anybody outside of Connor Shaw and Steven Garcia. So, I mean, I find myself in a very interesting position because I've gone from being the fire coaches guy and the bench Bentley guy to I am literally defending Jake Bentley. I never thought I'd be in this scenario. I never thought that I would be that guy. I think I saw John earlier, by the way, top 5 Gamecock media outlets. John, that's a can of worms that doesn't need to be opened, my friend. We don't even need to go there. Top 5 Gamecock personalities. That one might be interesting. Dude, you know what I should do, John? Like me, this would be fun because I'd be taking myself out of it. Top 5 Gamecock Twitter accounts. Oh, that would piss some people off. Top 5 Gamecock Twitter accounts. And I'm just going to rank my top 5 favorites. Spurs up USC has to be in the top 5, right? It has to be. Has to be. God, that would set Twitter afire. That would set Twitter ablaze. Hey, it'd be great for engagement, which is, great for business. Oh, God. A power rankings. Spurs up USC has to be top. It just does. It has to be top 5. It has to be. Dusty Rose says, here's the deal. Bentley came in so highly touted. Our expectation of him was sky high. He goes to Manning camps and wins them and plays in games and craps the bed. Mitchell had no expectations. He made simple things look great because our expectations weren't as high. Dusty Rhodes, bingo, hit the nail on the head. I think that is the biggest difference. I think you're right. I think that's the biggest difference. With Bentley, there were massive expectations, and the expectations of Carolina football as a whole were higher when Jake Bentley was under center, right? We had won 11 games. With Blake Mitchell, I mean, we were coming off of Lou Holtz, and bro, we had never seen success like that. We had never seen success like that. Keith, would Bentley have been better under Spurrier? I mean, how could you say he wouldn't have? You know what I mean? I think 110%. Justin Martin, Will Muschamp never beating Clemson or A&M. This is so pitiful. Rob Youngston says, I like Bentley. I think the stigma gets attached to the Muschamp dark years. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. But again, the biggest thing for me is just taking the statistics into account. You know, you have to take the statistics into account. You know, somebody told me Mike Hold should be top 5. I love Mike Hold, guys. Has one of the most iconic moments in the history of the Carolina-Clemson rivalry. Was the captain of that, you know, the orchestrator, if you will, under center of that 1984 Black Magic season. But guys, the guy threw 15 touchdowns and 15 picks. Is that top 5? Really? That's top. Dondrell Pinkins threw more touchdowns than freaking Mike Hold did. Chris Smelly threw more touchdowns than Mike Hold. I'd argue Dylan Thompson deserves to be top 5 more than Mike Hold. Savannah Webster, he didn't do well at Utah either. Yeah. Somebody commented on Twitter just now, there's no way Bentley's top 5. Just goes to show you that stats lie. He's an average at best college quarterback and makes a ton of mental errors. And I'm not even disagreeing, guys. Here's the harsh reality that nobody wants to hear, though. You know what Bentley being at 5 says? Outside of those top 4, like if you look at the list, if I made a top 10 list instead, 5 through 10, it's not like we've had 10 like All-Americans. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like we've been a quarterback factory. Would anybody disagree with me there? Again, Petty did some nice things, but he was a bit of a game manager. And I love Phil Petty, bro. I've had him on my show. Love Phil Petty. Incredible. He's a winner just like Connor Shaw. That's the way I look at him. Is he top 5 all time? You know, yes, Suggs, Grants. And yes, guys, listen, there's going to be some more recency bias for me because I didn't watch Suggs. I didn't watch Grants. I wasn't alive in 1970, okay? So, of course, I'm going to bias a little bit more to the guys recent that I've actually watched play. And then, okay, here's the thing with Tannehill. Here's the thing that kills me about Tannehill, though. And Tannehill's an all-time great, bro. We know that. But the teams he played on were trash. Most of them were bad. And it's no knock on those guys. I know he won the first ever bowl game in school history, but like it's not like those teams he played on were very good. I mean, we were 5-6 win teams at best. At least Bentley won a freaking Outback Bowl. But again, that's the beauty of, and I mean, Tannehill's in my top 5. So, I mean, but I've seen some people saying Tannehill's the greatest of all time, but there's just no way. I think we can all agree. That Connor Shaw is number 1. If nothing else, at least we agree Connor Shaw is number 1. And again, I don't mean to knock Tannehill. He was in my top 5. He literally was, what, 3rd, 4th? Suggs was 3rd because he's an ACC champion. He won the only conference title in school history. So I think Suggs has to be top 5. But certainly there's no debate about Connor Shaw, right? There's no debate about Connor Shaw being number 1. Yeah. You just, listen, is Connor Shaw the most talented quarterback to step foot on campus ever? No, he's not. He's not, bottom line. He's not. But he's the ultimate winner, and that matters. I mean, winning games matters. I know the teams surrounding him, that the team that was around him was incredible. They were great. Hell, If Dylan Thompson was the starter, we might win the same amount of games. But 18-0 at home, the comeback at Mizzou. I mean, you have to put respect on the guy's name, bro. Best quarterback in school history. It's just not even debatable in my mind. Not even debatable. Not even debatable. Here's something interesting that I want to talk about later today. I'll probably put up a clip on social media. Going to be a pool day today for yours truly, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. I think it's going to be a pool day. My buddy Brad Crawford, who I'm sure many of you are huge fans of. My buddy Brad Crawford, though, put up an article about Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs and what random coaches. I'm actually going to buy Lindy's magazine today, by the way. But basically what the anonymous coaches said was that the SEC East is the worst it's been in the last 25 years and how that sets up beautifully for Georgia. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I mean, the East is Georgia's. It's not even close. It's not even close. But would that not – I believe that sets up extremely well, and I made that point on my show, I think either the last one or one before. I think it sets up extremely well for Shane Beamer, right? Like, if there was any time to have a new coach coming in, and trying to make waves in this conference and in the SEC East, the time is now. I mean, dude, there's Georgia. Creme de la creme. They're the cream. They're the best. Whatever. Give them credit. Outside of that, bro, 2 through 7's wide open. I mean, Florida lost a lot. Are they going to be the same? Even if you want to say it's 1-2, 3 through 7's wide open. Tennessee's a dumpster fire. Kentucky, Mark Stoops done a good job building that program. They're still Kentucky. You know, Mizzou, Drinkwitz, in year 2, he's done a decent job so far. You know, what is Mizzou? Freaking Vandy's Vandy. They're terrible. And then there's you. So, I mean, hey, all I'm saying is it sets up fairly well for Shane Beamer. I think it sets up well. You could make waves in the SEC and kind of inject yourself. I mean, everybody's fighting to be that number 2 behind Georgia right now. So, I agree Dylan Thompson was underrated. I do. Travis Ford, don't forget Anthony Wright. In my opinion, he could be the GOAT if Brad Scott and Ricky Bussell would start together. And I'm certainly not forgetting. Listen, if you want to put Anthony Wright 5, which that's the thing, guys. Again, my list is not the end-all, be-all. You want to put Anthony Wright 5? I totally get that, and I respect it, and I wouldn't argue you on it. You want to put Dylan Thompson? There are many others that could be there. Your local sports talks is my SEC East predictions. Georgia 1, Florida 2. All right. Missouri 3. Come on, spit it out. Spit it out. Type it out. Come on. You could just type it in one thing, I think, right? Or no, maybe not. Justin Martin, I feel like South Carolina football should have won the SEC title by now. I mean, yeah, and since 1992, man, I mean, you'd think South Carolina football would have one national title in 100-plus years of playing the game, but, you know, is what it is. I don't know. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. All right, here we go. Your local sports talk. Kentucky 4, South Carolina 5, Tennessee 6, Vandy 7. I think, honestly, you're pretty spot on. I think the media, when they pick for SEC Media Days, will have South Carolina 6. I think they'll have Tennessee ahead of South Carolina just because I think the national media, which who gives a damn what they think, but, you know, they are going to pick the conferences and all that. I think they trust Heupel and like Heupel more than Shane Beamer. So, you know, I think that's probably the likelihood. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Keith says it's easy to list most of our number ones. Running back Rogers, D-line Clowney, defensive back Gilmore, wide receivers Jeffries, and quarterback Shaw. Yeah, I mean, some of those are debatable, though. Some of those are debatable, you know? Some people would say Lattimore's the greatest of all time. I mean, I think not to spoil it, I think you do have to put Rodgers just because he won the Heisman Trophy, man. I mean, that trumps all. I mean, it's the greatest individual award in all of sport. I mean, you have to give it to the guy. I'll tell you this, though. D-line, man, you say Clowney. I don't know. I mean, what about John Abraham? You know? I mean, listen, Clowney's definitely the most talented, but is he the greatest defensive lineman to ever play at South Carolina? And, hey, we're talking edge. We're talking tackles. I don't know, man. John Abraham's up there. Hall of Famer in the NFL also. You know, hey, even defensive back. Stephon Gilmore was not the guy he is currently in the NFL. He was not that guy in college. We've had a lot of great DBs roll through South Carolina. So, we've had a lot of great DBs come through South Carolina. Again, guys, quick reminder, as you guys all know by now, we are at 2 podcasts per week, and we'll be that way for the next 2 months or so, up until kickoff. But podcast is still rocking and rolling Monday, Thursdays. We're dropping them. Yesterday's drop, breaking down the Texas A&M Aggies, and also a great conversation with Adrian Morales, former Gamecocks third baseman. Monday's show, we will break down the Florida Gators. All right? We'll break down the Florida Gators. And also, Perry Orth conversation. We'll drop on that one. So very excited. Perry Orth joined me in studio. Really, really good stuff. You're not going to want to miss this convo. Talking everything, of course, Shane Beamer, Luke Doty, offense, defense, everything looking ahead to the 2021 season. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. My guy John says, hot take, ECU is a harder win than Kentucky this year. Total trap game. Their fans have been waiting years for this game. I can see us losing easily. I hope we don't, though. And I'll tell you this, John, because some people gave me, not backlash, some people raised an eyebrow when I said a couple months ago, just a quick glance at the schedule, that ECU was the key game to the season. And like I said, I will lock that in and make my official proclamation, if you will, the second week of July when I give my game-by-game season predictions and all that. I'll talk about key game of the season and biggest chance for an upset and all that good stuff that comes with that. Because most people say it's Kentucky, the key game. But you make the point, man. And I keep going back to, like, listen, if you lose to Kentucky, yes, it's going to suck. Don't get me wrong. It's going to suck. It's going to be a tough pill for South Carolina fans to swallow, right? But you can still get to 6 wins. You can. You can, because you expect this Gamecocks football team to be a better team in weeks 7, 8, 9 than they're going to be in week 4 when you play Kentucky, right? If this team gets better like it should and progresses the way it should, and Perry Orth and I talked about that when he came by, if this team progresses the way it should, hey, maybe you lose to Kentucky, but maybe you steal one against a Florida and Auburn at Mizzou, right? Maybe you can do that. You can still get to 6 wins. But if you lose to East Carolina, your path to 6 wins becomes damn near impossible. You have to win that one. And I know there are no must wins in year 1 of Shane Beamer, blah, blah, blah. I understand it. I get that. You know, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, if you don't win that game, this consequence. I'm not saying that, but, like, the goal is to get to a bowl game, right? There's still goals and standards and expectations. The goal is to get to a bowl game. You can lose to Kentucky and I think still get there. It'll be a kick in the you-know-where, and it will be a, you know, especially at home, it'll be a very tough pill to swallow. But if you ask me right now, would I rather beat ECU or Kentucky, I'd rather beat ECU. Kentucky, hey, they're in year 9 of Mark Stoops. I hate to say it, guys, right now they're a better team than you are. You're not going to be favored. I mean, right now, the Vegas Sharps, I think, would have you at least a touchdown underdog, believe it or not. So, yeah. That East Carolina game, it's pivotal. It is pivotal. Very, very pivotal. Joshua Spencer. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joshua Spencer. Appreciate that. And I think even, John, calling it a trap game is a mistake. I don't think it's a trap game. It's just a damn tough game. I know it fits into the label of trap game, but South Carolina would be foolish to roll into that game expecting anything other than a damn fight, right? We'd be foolish. I mean, we would be flat out foolish. So, your local sports talk on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about Luke Doty? I mean, I'm probably at a 6.5. I mean, listen, there's a lot to prove. He hadn't played, but I like Luke Doty's athleticism. I like the overall moxie of the kid. I feel good about Luke. I think Luke Doty will have a good season. Now, again, you guys, listen to the conversation Perry Orth and I had when it comes out on Monday. We talk about a lot of these things, and he agreed with me. I would go out there and say, guys, listen, I'll make a bet with you right now. In games we throw the ball 30 times or more, we'll lose every one of them. Every single one of them, we will lose. Yeah, every one of them. We're not going to be a passing, pass-happy type of ball club. We're going to need to be a team that runs it 50 times. That's bottom line. Maybe 60, right? Justin Martin, Chris of South Carolina does go 6-6 or 7-5. Would you like to see them in the Jacksonville Bowl? I'd love to. Dude, I'd love to see them in any bowl game. Here's the fun thing. I've never been to a bowl game. So my plan is to go. I want to go to a bowl game. By the way, for those asking me what games I'm going to this year, obviously I'll be at every single home game. We're going to have the TSUS tailgates. I'll be in the building for every game, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the drill. The road games, I actually had a buddy of mine call me last night. He said he's planned road trips to Georgia, Tennessee, and East Carolina, and asked me to tag along. So it sounds like I'll be at least those three. I mean, obviously the tough ones to get to are A&M and Missouri. Those are hella road trips. Jaden Harris, what are the chances we have 2 700-plus yard rushers? I think actually pretty good. I mean, I'd like to think one of the two out of Kevin and Marshawn will go over 1,000 yards. I'd like to think so. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that's very, very good possibility. Very good. Ideally, that's the type of season we want to have, right? That's the type of season we want to have, ideally. So, I'll tell you what, though, man, this is, again, kind of random, but as far as content, dude, making top anything lists, whew, gets people going. I mean, it gets the conversation going, right? It gets the conversation going. Again, guys, quick reminder in case you missed it, TSUS tailgates live this fall from Seawells. Right across the street from the Rocket and the fairgrounds, of course. Right across the road from old Willie B. Right next to Jay's on the corner. You guys know where Seawells is. Official spots to be determined. We're waiting to hear back, but these spots are secured. Everything is set up, good to go. Very, very excited for the TSUS tailgates. Again, something I wanted to do last year, something I've been wanting to do for a couple years. Really looking forward to it. So would love to have you guys out. Come by, swing by, grab a bite, have a brewski. Also, what I'm really, really pumped about is I'm going to be doing a live pregame, and I want to do postgame show as well. But for sure a live pregame show. Probably going to buy a speaker to where we can plug into that and people can actually hear. Going to try to get guests to come by. Of course, you guys remember we had Cox by 90 at Halls, where I really joined him for his thing. But Cox by 90 and I, we've talked about teaming up for something like that. You know, Perry Orth lives around. I'd love to get Perry on there. We talked about that. You never know who else might be in town. So, going to be really, really good stuff. Your local sports talk, who is the one recruit you really want to commit? Well, I tell you what, we got our quarterback, Oscar Delp, the tight end. I'd really like to see us get Oscar Delp. I think he'd be the gem of the class. You know, South Carolina, we've done a really, really good job of developing tight ends and putting out big-time tight ends. And, you know, you look at a guy like Delp, he's got the physical attributes you want. I don't know if you guys knew this, but his family grew up Gamecocks. They're a Gamecock family, if you will. Georgia's all over the kid really, really hard. But, man, I think it would be an awesome kind of notch for Shane Beamer and Eric Kimry, tight ends coach, and that entire staff to, we talk welcome home. Let's keep this kid home. I know he's in Atlanta right now. I know that's where he lives. But, again, Gamecock family. Let's keep this kid home. Let's bring a Gamecock where he belongs, get him on campus. And, again, I think for him, what you sell to the kid is, like I said, listen, we've done a great job developing tight ends at South Carolina. We've done a fantastic job in regards to getting them, in the league and watching them flourish. And you look at Hayden Hurst, you look at Jared Cook, you look at Jarrell Adams, you look at Busta Anderson, you look at Justice Cunningham. You look at Wesley Saunders, you look at all these guys, some of the greats. You look at Nick Muse right now. You look at what we're going to do with Jaheim Bell. So, Oscar Delp, this is my sales pitch to you, sir. Come home. South Carolina's going to use you. You're going to get coached by the best. You're going to get coached hard, and you're going to get coached by the best. And you're going to win some football games. You're going to be in a fantastic, beautiful facility each and every single day. The ops building is second to none. The indoor is second to none. Game day at Williams-Brice, second to none. So that's my sales pitch to Oscar Delp. We'll see what happens. But, no, I'd love to see it, man. I've always been a big fan of the tight end. And, Marcus Satterfield's obviously going to use them in the passing game and in the offensive scheme. And I don't think that's going anywhere for South Carolina. So, would love to see it, man. I think that would be an awesome pickup for this 2022 class. So, let's see. I don't think they both go over 1,000. I think that's a little aggressive. I'd love to see it. But I definitely think what Jaden said earlier, both over 700. Phil Harris, any updates about TSUS founding members? Phil, that's something I'm going to be working on this weekend. I'm glad you asked. I'm planning on trying to roll that out by mid next week. I just really want to make sure I nail down all the details and the intricacies of it and everything else. But, yes, that's coming soon. I don't know if we're exactly going to call it TSUS founding members. Phil, and I'd love to get your feedback on this and all others. I've thought about, could we call it something a little bit more unique and fun names? One name that came across my mind was the Big Cock Club. So I know that's going to get a laugh out of you probably, but maybe we'll just call it the TSUS Founding Members Club. I don't know. But it's going to be something special. And like I said, I really want to iron out the details and set that up. So that's something I want to roll out mid to late next week because I really want to make sure we get that nailed down. And when it rolls out, it's 110% ready to be out there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's coming soon. Yes, that is coming very, very soon. Now that the tailgate spot stuff has been announced, that is coming very, very soon. Your local sports talk. Anyone on defense you want to see come in? I'd like to see Rose come back, the safety. But I just want to see a bunch of athletic guys, man. We just need to get a bunch of athletes. You know what I mean? Truly, we need speed. You win with speed. We got to have speed. Phil, you got a kick out of that. I mean, it'd be like the black card club of TSUS, right? Jaden Harris, who do you think starts the year as kick returner and punt returner? I'm sure there's a bunch of guys getting a look at it. I think Amarian Brown's an option. Dak Joyner could be an option. Maybe Cam Smith's an option. Obviously somebody fast. Amarian Brown's probably one of the fastest guys on our team. So why wouldn't he do it? You know what I mean? Keith, how many more years do you give Kingston? What is your minimum for Beamer? For Kingston, listen, you just need to continue to see progression. How many more years do I give Kingston to do what, Keith? Because, of course, getting to Omaha is the standard. But if we go to the Supers next year but don't make Omaha, am I going to say fire Kingston? Absolutely not. Here's the thing. As long as we are giving ourselves year after year after year the opportunity to go to Omaha, and what I mean by the opportunity, we're hosting regionals. We're in regionals. We're going to supers. As long as you're doing that, your baseball program is in a good spot. Now, it's when you start missing the postseason that's obviously got to have you worried. That's why Chad Holbrook got fired. I mean, if you miss the postseason 2 out of 3 years at South Carolina, you're out, right? Bottom line. As long as we're giving ourselves opportunities to get there, we're finishing in the top half of the conference, we're going over 500 in SEC play, I have no issues with Kingston. Now, I'll tell you this, the hitting's got to improve. We got to see the hitting be better next year. You know, if we hit 250 again, I'm going to have some damn concerns, okay? Bottom line. But as long as we're seeing positive progression and we see ourselves take positive steps as a program, we continue getting to regionals. You know, I think next year the expectation's got to be at minimum super regionals. I think you need to get to the supers. I do. I think you need to get to the supers. But, I mean, there's no set, like, amount of years I really have for Kingston. You know what I mean? Because, you know, if you say, oh, you know, he's got 3 years to get to Omaha, or we got to make a change, and he goes to 3 straight super regionals but doesn't get there, like, are you going to fire the guy? I mean, come on. You just – you know, you can't operate that way, man. I mean, if you operate that way, you're going to be changing coaches every like 6 to 7 years. You just are. So just keep putting yourself in position to get to Omaha. It will happen at some point. It will. It will happen at some point. Now, is 10 to 12 going to happen again? Probably not. I don't know. Keith, I don't mean to like, it certainly could. But in the game of baseball, it's just you have to give credit to just how hard it is to get to Omaha. It's tough. Now, the minimum for Beamer, you got to give him at least 5 years. At least. Let him truly build the program. You know what I mean? Let him truly build it. Of course, in the meantime, we need to see progression. We need to see, you know, just, again, overall progress of the program. That was the biggest problem with the past staff, the past regime. We won some big games. We beat Georgia in 19. We beat Auburn in 20. But the problem was there was no progress. Right? There was no progress. They were just empty wins. It's like, who cares if you beat Georgia? I'd rather you just go win 6 games. You know, you beat Georgia in a season, you won 4 games, and you beat Auburn in a season, you won 2. So, it's all about progress, positive progress. You know, that's all it's about. That's why, hey, if you can win 6 this year, man, that is setting a great foundation for the future. It is. You just need to be able to sell your program to recruits. That's the biggest thing. You got to be able to sell your program to recruits. Bottom line. Even if you go 5-7, but you're competitive. If you go 5-7, but you're competitive, you can sell that. You can say, hey, man, we're a couple guys away. We're a couple, hey, Oscar Delp, we're a couple pieces away. You're the missing piece. Hey, Rose, hey, whoever else, Braden Davis, whoever else. We're a couple pieces. But the problem with the last staff was when you lose 48-3 to A&M, when you get embarrassed week after week, you can't sell that to anybody. You can't sell that. Right? And USC Insider says, just give them money. Here's the problem, USC Insider. Everybody else is giving them money, too. You think we're the only ones that are throwing the bag around? I mean, I'll say it. You know what I mean? Justin Martin, Chris, how much longer Ray Tanner going to be AD? Would a new president bring his own staff? Well, see, that's the intriguing thing to me, is you already don't have a president. I mean, Pastides is in an interim role. He's not going to stay, right? He's not going to take over that role, right? So you already don't have a president, technically. Are you going to search for a new aide? I don't think you get rid of Tanner till you have somebody else like ready to hire like that. I feel for Shane Beamer, honestly. I really feel for Shane Beamer because, you know, people want to know who they're working for. People want to know who they're working for. And Shane Beamer is a guy. Phil, thank you, Phil. Big Cock Club, number 1. Atta baby. It should pop up in a second. I hope it does. It better. But Shane Beamer, you want to know who you're working for, and he's going to have you tell me he's going to have a new president and possibly a new AD? Like, tough. It's just tough. Phil, Phil. There it is. Boom. Like I said, I got to update these GIFs. Damn it. Somebody get on me. Hold me accountable. I got to update these GIFs. Are y'all going to watch the College World Series? Gets going tomorrow. Phil says, interestingly enough, I couldn't put cock in the message without spacing it out. Savannah, 78 days. Yeah. Yeah, Phil, that'd probably be the only problem with naming it the Big Cock Club is please don't do a Google search for the Big Cock Club. Might not be the best idea. So we might need to name it something a little less suggestive, put it that way. I think that's hilarious, though. I think that's, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm like a 5-year-old. I don't know. Again, guys, less than 10 minutes taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. I'll tell you guys, you know, we're in the heat of summer right now, which, by the way, guys, thank you all so much for the love and support, because I feel like content's rolling right now. I mean, it's the preseason, and this week has certainly been an adjustment going from 5 shows to 2, but y'all tell me. I feel like the content's rolling. I mean, I'm doing my absolute best to make sure there's no feeling, at least, of a lapse. You know what I mean? Like, we're not just going to go radio silent for 3 months while there's, you know, not really any on-field activities happening. I mean, I'm trying to just roll. I had my buddy text me yesterday. He's like, dude, you're putting out content. I was like, bro, that's all I know. That's all I know. I love to make content. That's what I do. We produce content. What's the other option? Taylor says, did you know that camp today they are using the old practice field? I did not know that. I have to ride down there and say what's up. By the way, guys, quick update in case you're wondering. Day, let me see. What day? I'll give you guys an official update. And I know he's busy, by the way. Day 9. Day 9. Still no update from Steve Fink. No response. No response from Stephen Fink. I emailed him on June the 9th. No response in regards to a conversation with Shane Beamer. So, just to give you guys an update. 9 days. No response to the email in 9 days. So, take it for what it's worth. It is what it is. Oh, well. Oh, well. Yeah, Savannah College World Series final will be that Sunday through Tuesday, I think, or something like that, of next weekend. So, but yeah, 78 days, man. 78 days. Robbie Davis texts in. Out of Harris and Lloyd, which one do you think has the best chance to crack over 1,000 yards? I think you have to say Harris right now. Listen, I'm excited for Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, I was all over Marshawn Lloyd last year. I said many times, hey, he's going to be the focal point of the offense. We're going to run through him. And when he went down, I thought we were shot offensively. Even with my excitement for Marshawn Lloyd, I think you have to put respect on Kevin Harris's name. I just think you do. I think you do. You know, it feels almost like a slap in the face to Kevin Harris to just – and I mean, how can I say this? Like, I have no issues with pumping up Marshawn Lloyd and like hyping him. I have no issues with that. That's great. I'm doing the same thing. But to just give all the hype to Lloyd without mentioning Kevin Harris, you know what I mean? He's the number one running back until proven otherwise. He's the number one back. He earned that right after last year. So right now, I'm saying Kevin Harris will be the 1,000-yard rusher. Now, hey, trust me, guys. If Marshawn Lloyd, hey, he's 110% healthy. If Marshawn Lloyd is truly 110% healthy, and he is the guy we recruited him to be. He is the guy that, we all heard about, 5-star running back, best running back prospect to come here since Marcus Lattimore. If he's that guy and he lives up to that, he's the best running back on the roster. No question. Fact. As much as I like Kevin Harris, that's fact. So, Jaden Harris says it seems like Gamecock fans are some of the only people to put respect on Kevin Harris's name. Indeed. No, I agree. Kevin Harris doesn't get the love he deserves. Savannah Webster, what are the matchups this weekend? I'd have to look. The schedule for the College World Series. Saturday, Stanford, NC State at 2. Vandy, Arizona at 7. Sunday is Tennessee, Virginia at 2. Texas, Mississippi State at 7. That's a hell of a game right there. Keith says if we hit 250, who is to blame? The hitting coach. Keith, everyone takes blame. Everyone takes blame. Right? Listen, a hitting coach can only do so much for you. A pitching coach can only do so much for you. I'd say a hitting coach has less involvement than a damn pitching coach, because a pitching coach is changing guys in and out, and he's trying to determine, okay, is this the best guy for this situation? A hitting coach, you just roll with 1 through 9 and you go, right? Hitters have got to make adjustments. Hitters have got to recognize pitches. Hitters have just got to execute. Bottom line. Hey, Keith, I can get you in the cage. And I was a former pitcher in college. I can get you on a mound. I can teach all I want. But if you don't implement it, what good does any of it do? That's my biggest thing, guys. People going after Scott, Stuart Lake and Kingston, and like Braylon Wimmer. I promise they're not teaching Braylon Wimmer to swing at a curveball in the dirt. They're not doing that. That kid's got to make an adjustment at some point. Let's jump to the phone lines real quick. Skyland, what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Just hanging out, brother. What's going on?
I just joined in, so I was wondering what you was chirping about hit coach. What people been saying?
No. Keith just asked if we hit 250, who is to blame? The hitting coach. And my point was, it's everybody. You can't just blame the hit. It's not like football where they're calling plays and all that. I mean, the hitting coach, yeah, he's working with guys on mechanics and their swing. But the guys have got to go out there and do it. It's no you know what I mean? There's no, let me put it this way. There's no secret hitting coach we're going to go hire and all of a sudden we're going to hit better. I just don't think that's a thing. I don't, granted, I think there are good hitting coaches and bad hitting coaches. Here's the thing also that people don't even realize. Most, if not all of these guys have their own hitting coach. They have their own coach.
And that's weird to me. I know Brendan Malone and Braylon Wimmer used to sing hitting coach in Austin.
Yeah, I know. I know for a fact they do. So, but listen, if you fire Stuart Lake or something and go get somebody, all of a sudden we're going to hit 300. Like that's not, dude. That.
I know you know this, but let me explain. Can I explain something to your viewers about our hitting coach?
Right.
We do not pay him. All right. People don't understand. There's only 3 coaches that get paid by the university, and that is Mike Curran, Skylar Meade, and Mark Keesley. There is no 4th pay coach. Stuart Lake is a volunteer coach.
Right.
He only gets paid through camp. That's the only time he gets paid. He don't get paid during the season. He don't get paid to be on the field.
Which is insane. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you knew that.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, yeah.
There's only 3 coaches that get paid. So who are you going to go hire for free?
Right.
But
yeah.
At the end of the day, we were on the phone for an hour and a half last night talking about this. You have to get more athletic to get a fastball, especially at 95, 96. So, but baseball is the hardest sport in the entire world. You can take a football player, a basketball player, and put him on the baseball field, and he's going to struggle. But if you take a baseball player and you put him on the football field or the basketball court, he's going to compete.
Right.
So,
Yep.
I'm not saying I'm backing Stewart late. I'm not saying nothing. I just feel like we need to get more athletic. I think Kingston needs more time before we go out here and judge him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I said it earlier. Somebody asked that, like, what do you? How many years do you give Kingston? This is what I'll say.
8.
And it's not even. Here's the thing, man. I don't have a timeline. Here's what I say. As long as you are giving yourself opportunities to get to Omaha, that's all that really, dude. And what I mean by opportunities is you're hosting regionals, you're in regionals, you're getting to supers. Because you can't put a timeline and say, oh, if we don't get to Omaha by X date, we have to move on. Well, I mean, if you're going to the postseason every single year, you're at some point you're going to break through. You're going to have the team that will. So, I don't know. I don't really. I mean, at South Carolina, again, it's no gray area like football and basketball. If you miss the postseason, you're going to get fired. Look at Chad Holbrook. You missed it 2 out of 3 years, you're gone. As long as you keep giving yourself a chance to get to Omaha, and progress is being made.
Fans to be patient next year.
Right.
You're going to be fairly young, a bunch of new guys. Basically, you're turning over a whole new roster, a whole new rotation, a whole new bullpen staff.
Right.
And you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle next year.
Yeah.
It's just what you're going to do. You're just going to struggle. You're going to be young. At least you're going to have talent, but you're just going to be that raw talent.
Mm.
So, some people don't think before they speak, but I just wanted to call in and show my love to you, number one.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Skyland. Yeah, it's always a pleasure talking ball with you, man. Absolutely.
And explain to your viewers how our coaches get paid.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Sport Lake only makes about, 60,000 for camps a year. We don't even get that much money.
Yeah.
So, we just have to get athletic. We don't have athletic. We just don't have athletic enough. It shows. You made too many errors in the field. You can steal bases. Every play you made defensively looked ugly. Your swings looked ugly. Nothing was moving for you.
Right.
So, oh well.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to get athletic. I think we will. We'll get athletic. I think that'll be a change we see in next season. So.
Oh yeah, that's the Kingston's first high school class. I never said this on air, but I've said this to you. This is Kingston's first high school class. The ones that came in this season that were freshmen this year were the ones that transitioned between Kingston and Holbrook.
Right.
People don't understand. As a high school kid, you commit your freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah, you're 16. You're 16 when you commit, most of them.
Yes. So, like, now, because T.Y. Hohenschuld that pitches for Clemson, he said he wanted to be a Gamecock.
Yeah.
But the only reason he didn't come to South Carolina was because of the transitions between Holbrook and Kingston.
Right.
This is
Right.
Kingston's first true high school class coming in. It's fall.
For sure. Skyland, hey.
See what he
do what?
I said, let's see what kind of guy he brings.
Yeah, no, I we'll see. Again, it's the beauty of Carolina baseball is there's no gray area, and hey, it'll play itself out. But I think we'll have a good ball club next year. Again, it's a long ways out, but I am excited for the future of Carolina baseball. I will say that.
All right, it's 1:00. I know you're trying to get off here, so see you later.
No, hey, Skyland, I appreciate it, man. We'll talk soon.
All right, later.
All right, later. Great stuff, great call, and a great way to go into the weekend, guys. Hey, appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you again so much for another successful week, the Daily Crow podcast, everything in between, all the content. Thank you so much, guys, for rocking with us, continuing to rock what we do. Again, I know it's an interesting time of year, the preseason. We're in the heat of summer. Not a ton going on in regards to on the field. Obviously, there's nothing going on in regards to on the field, but we keep rocking, we keep rolling. And again, thank you all so much for the love and support, man. I can't say it enough. I have an extreme amount of gratitude towards you guys. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. You guys are what make this thing happen, what make this thing go. You guys are what make TSUS what it is. And I'm really excited for what's currently going on, what's to come, everything. Beyond words, man. So, again, thank you all so much. Really quickly, I'll answer these two questions. Amanda Webster, do all teams do that or just an us thing as far as not paying coaches? So that is a college baseball thing. There is no fourth paid assistant. And that's something that, You talk to any college baseball fan, the D1 baseball guys, it's bogus, it's ridiculous, and something they're trying to get changed. Justin Martin said, Chris, who you got to win the College World Series? Oh, man, I don't even know. If I gun to head, I'll go I'll go Texas. I'll go Texas. All right, guys, hey, appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.